God decided to create a nation with a woman who couldn't have a baby. Mm-hmm. And a man who's too old to perform to have a baby. Both of them were past the age of childbearing or producing, let me say that.
Yeah.
First, let me just read chapter 17.
Genesis?
Genesis chapter 1.
Chapter 17?
Yeah, chapter 17, verse 1,
verse
sorry.
1.
And Abram was 90 years old and 9. The Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. Notice what God said. There's almightiness in me. Mm-hmm. And I will make my covenant between me and thee and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Then God changed his name. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, or Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee, and I will make thee exceedingly fruitful. And I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Well, I'm in that verse. Mm-hmm. I'm the seed of Abraham.
Right.
And watch this. I'm also a king. He made us kings and priests in this life.
Right. The next verse confirms
Okay.
that.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee and their generations for an everlasting covenant. I like that. Mm-hmm. To be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Now, that's a powerful prophecy.
Yes.
That's God himself talking. Mm-hmm. But how easy it is to forget when God tells us to do things.
Yeah. And this wasn't the first time God told him that.
Oh, no.
Back in Genesis chapter 12 is when he first
told him to leave his
that
place.
he would be a father of nations, that all the nations through him would be blessed.
Well, memory is very important in your Christian life. Now, I want to go to chapter 18.
Okay.
And I want to read in verse 1, And the Lord appeared to him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in a tent during the heat of the day. So God decided to have a visitation.
I love that.
He sent down some people call them angels, but I mean, they were some powerful, powerful beings. One of them was Jesus.
I believe that too.
Now, watch this. Now, he then got this great prophecy, okay? So you would think coming from the mouth of God himself, he's physically hearing God talk. You'd think, how could you forget that? But then you see the nation of Israel, they saw the mountain smoke and God talking, and they walked away from it too.
Well, today people are like the same way. They quickly forget God's goodness, his mercy.
So these three show up, and Abraham says, he's very nice. He says, well, let's cook him some food and be a blessing, And if you read chapter 18, and it was the judgment that was coming to Sodom and Gomorrah. But watch this. And I like to read verse 11 of chapter 18. Now, Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman. Okay, now notice that. I wanted to read that before. Verse 9, I want to go back up. And they said unto him, well, let me go to verse 8. He took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. So angels do eat food. And they said unto him, where is Sarah thy wife? He said, she's in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Then I just read you verse 11. Now these are very old people. Thinking like great-grandmas. Really old.
Much older than us.
Yes. And verse 12, now here's the woman. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abram, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which am old? Verse 14 is where I want to get to. Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Available for your partnership of $50 or more. Visit jdm.org for more information. Request yours today.